Dear ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. I am Justina Liew, Senior Inspector of Industry, Safety, Health and Environment National Authority. As the regulator for workplace safety and health and environment, as well as radiation matters in Brunei Darussalam, SHENA remains steadfast in its belief and commitment that it can make a difference and ensure Brunei is a safe place to work and live. Delivering against the aspirations of the nation under the Wawasan 2035 deliverable of quality of life. SHENA believes in raising HSE standards in the workplace and preventing work-related injuries and in particular fatalities. As part of our ongoing drive to reach out to our stakeholders this month, we have declared it to be a safety month, in conjunction with the World Day for Safety and Health at Work. We will this month deliver key messages as presentations to you covering a number of relevant safety-related topics. Today, I will be addressing the topic of work at height. Through the presentation, I will provide you with the guidance and on the fall prevention plan and safe practices. Currently, there is no legal definition of work at height, but there is a definition taken from another jurisdiction in the UK, which means work in any place where, if precautions were not taken, a person would fall a distance liable to cause personal injury. You are working at height if you work above ground or floor level, or could fall from an edge through opening of fragile surface, or could fall from ground level into an opening in a floor or a hole in the ground. These are the statistics of accidents in the construction sector last year, 2019. There are a total of 22 cases of fall from height, whereby there are 3 cases of fatality of fall from height in the private sector. The cases pertaining to the fatalities are as follows. In case 1, the worker fell through the mezzanine floor at industrial site. Number 2, the worker fell from 3-meter height due to absence of a guardrail. In case 3, a worker fell from height through fragile cement board roofing sheets. There are 9 components in a fall prevention plan, and they are 1. The policy, 2. Responsibility, 3. Risk management, 4. Safe work procedures, 5. Personal protective equipment, 6. Inspection and maintenance, 7. Instructions and training, 8. Accident incident investigation, and lastly 9. Emergency response. For policy, organizations shall have a policy for fall prevention, which is set to be clear on the approach and commitment towards fall prevention. And top management shall define and endorse appropriate to the needs, nature and scale of the organization activities. However, it is important that the policy for fall prevention is understood and implemented and maintained at all levels of the organization. In terms of responsibilities, organizations shall appoint competent persons accountable at all levels of the fall prevention plan. You must have a supervisor to ensure that safety measures are in place before the commencement of the work. Have a HSE officer, safety coordinator responsible to make random HSE inspection of the factory work site on a routine basis. For risk management, an organization shall have hazard identification and risk assessment, which are fundamental tools to identify hazards at workplace. Risk assessment allows for the improvement of work conditions by identifying the hazards at the workplace and implementing effective risk control measures before they escalate into accidents and injuries. To better understand the work process, we have 1. Hazard identification, where we identify the hazards which may cause potential accidents or incidents. 2. Risk evaluation, where we estimate the risk levels and prioritize the risk hazards to be controlled. 3. Risk control, where we formulate the control measures according to the hierarchy of control, analysis, and evaluate the residual risks. In the hierarchy of risk control, the topmost element is we eliminate, which means the total removal of the hazards. For example, prefabrication of roof at ground level. 2. Using pen rollers with extendable handles rather than working on a ladder. And 3. Using precast tilt-up concrete construction instead of concrete walls construction in situ. And the second level we can substitute, which means involve replacing the hazard with a low risk. For example, using a mobile elevated work platform instead of ladders for reaching high places. We also have engineering controls, which means the use of engineering controls such as barriers or guardrails can improve safety while working at height. We have administrative controls where a system of work or work procedure that help reduce the exposure of the employees to fall. Example, permit to work system. 4 safe work procedures is a step-by-step account on how jobs to be executed, and these are: 1. Who is in charge of the job? 2. What safety precautions must be taken based on the risk assessment made? And 3. What kind of training is necessary? For personal protective equipment, where it should only be used as the final option. However, when used in conjunction with other control measures, PPE can provide an additional degree of safety. For inspection and maintenance, it is important for ensuring that the equipment is free from observable defects. Equipment that have exceeded their serviceable lifespan or past their expiry date should not be used. Maintenance programs should be established and implemented to periodically inspect and maintain. For instruction and training, persons working at height who are exposed to the risk of falling should be provided with sufficient and adequate information, instructions, and training so that they have the skill and knowledge to perform the work safely. For accident and incident investigation, all accidents or incidents shall be reported, investigated, and analyzed to determine any underlying deficiency, identify corrective action, and opportunities for prevention. For emergency response, it is very important in the event of a fall, it is necessary to retrieve the injured worker from the fall safely. Equipment to perform a rescue must be ready, available, and workers trained to perform a rescue. And lastly, worker who is suspended in a full body harness must be rescued promptly. Study shows that unconsciousness from suspension trauma can occur in around 5 minutes. Death can follow shortly within minutes. For control measures, these are the elements like example for prevention system, anchorage and lifelines, travel restraint system, personal individual forest system, work positioning system, ladders and step platform, hazards of working on rooftop. This picture shows the edge protection, often referred to as guardrail, is used to reduce the risk of falling from open sites. This picture shows the component of a scaffold which a person may fall over more than 2 meters must be constructed according to the design and drawings of an engineer. This is a picture shows a mobile scaffold with access ladder opening and other features to provide a hazard-free working platform. These are examples of mobile elevated work platforms, which consists of a work platform surrounded by an edge protection system and an extended structure intended to position persons, tools, and materials at height. Examples are scissor lift on your left, boom lift in the middle, and vertical personal platform on the right. This picture shows the correct method of working in a mobile elevated work platform on the left and unsafe practice on the right. This picture shows a mast climbing platform which is used to raise personnel and materials to the working position. This picture shows example of a horizontal lifeline for a personal fall prevention arrest system. This picture shows example of self-retracting lifelines for the fall prevention arrest system intended protection from fall. This picture shows a fall arrest system with horizontal lifeline which can be used where workers are required to carry out their work near an unprotected edge such as rigging and dismantling. This picture shows components of a full body harness. It is an assembly of interconnected shoulder and leg straps to prevent the wearer from falling out of the assembly. These are components of a twin lanyard system which allow users to remain protected while transferring from anchorage point to another. This is an example of a worker work positioning belt to keep a person in an elevation with both hands free to perform the work. Industrial rope access systems are used for gaining access to work on areas that are hard to reach by other means, usually through the use of vertical suspended ropes. 3-point contact with ladder should be maintained at all times, and tools and materials should not be carried by hand and should be in a tool belt or side pouch. If it is necessary to work on a step ladder, work a few steps below the top rung so that a handhold can be maintained. An access ladder with secured handhold and both styles tied. These are a picture of a crawler boats, gangways and perimeter guardrails to enhance safety for work at pitched roofs. This is an example of personal fall arrest system for roof works. This is the mobile elevated work platform to eliminate the need for workers to stand on fragile roof surface. Warning signs to be fixed at point of access to fragile roofs. In order to summarize, to reduce the risk of falling from height, 1. Discourage unsafe practices. Where individual fall arrest system when required, workers may be led to believe that it is acceptable to disregard this. 2. Supervision of work. 3. A buddy system should be encouraged. 4. Wear fall arrest system safely and correctly. 5. Proper use of equipment. 6. Safe route of access. 7. Safety nets and safety harnesses. Finally, I would like to thank you for your kind attention.